Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, I'm Natalie, and in this channel I like to share my financial journey with all of you. I am fully transparent with my money, so if you want to see what I do month over month with my paychecks and how I organize my goals and aspirations, please make sure to subscribe. A little bit about myself for those that are new. I am a single individual that works for a small tech company as an HR professional. I just recently completed a move to the state of North Carolina from the state of Florida, and I'd like to share how I achieve my goals and aspirations with all of you. So if you're interested in seeing my journey as I pay off debt, achieve financial goals, and continue to live life in my early 30s, please subscribe. And today what we're gonna do is actually close out paycheck number 1 for March, which is long overdue, but life has been hectic with the move and work. So if you want to see how I did for my first paycheck of the month, please keep watching. So as you guys know, I am a salaried employee, so typically my paychecks don't change at all unless I have a bonus or there's some random taxes that need to go out of my paycheck and things like that. So for paycheck number 1 of March, I was still in the state of Florida, so that was pretty normal for me and it stayed the same. So I will fill this out really quickly so we can get this done. But my paycheck for March, the first half of month, so my paycheck for the first half of March was $3,663 with 19 cents, and I didn't have any other miscellaneous money come in, so that stays the same. And of course I listed all of my fixed expenses. So rent was actually 0 just because I only stayed with my parents for the first week of March, so they weren't gonna have me pay for rent. And I did have to, of course, have a deposit and my first month's rent at my place in North Carolina, but I actually took that out from all of the savings that I had. So that's 0 for this month. Then my HOA stayed the same, thankfully, at $360.74, so there was no change there. My iCloud is $3. Nelnet was $202 with 88. Amazon, I think this is the one month I actually budgeted for it in my paycheck, but I don't think I budgeted for it in the month. No. So this is why I do paycheck by paycheck budgets too, because I always tend to forget things no matter how many times I've done my budget. And then for my storage, I thought I was gonna have to pay for the full month because I thought it was retroactive, but it's not. You pay ahead of time, and turned out that that was 0, so that was great. They did the inspection and then they didn't charge me anything, and I moved out before the 10th, so that was perfect. So that was a total of, and I'm gonna just double check these numbers just because I typically have this in a spreadsheet, but because of the changes with the storage unit, it may not be accurate. So $581.65 is how much it actually turned out to be. And I do want to give everyone a fair warning. I think I mentioned it in a previous video, but I don't even know if I ended up uploading it. But ever since moving, my dog has become even more attached to me, and she will not let me even like be on my own in a room. So she's right next to me, right under me, and she's currently snoring. So if you hear that, I'm sorry, but I just can't leave her out. She will literally bark the house down. So fixed expenses, $581, so that was a difference of $226 with 51, so that was a positive. Okay, so of course my math wasn't working, so now it's accurate. So for the month, the fixed expenses were $581.72, and that gave me a positive of $226 with 44 cents. Then for variables, I ended up spending $240.97 in groceries, so that was negative $40.97. For gas, I also went over, so that was $75.91, and you can see this in my variable check-in. So I definitely was like out and about meeting with like friends and stuff before I left. So 40 minus 75.91 negative 35.91. For fun, that was definitely like ridiculous. So I 100% went over by an absurd amount. So that was 667.72. I cannot talk today. So that was a negative 567.72. And for sinking funds, I ended up adding that to my sinking fund. So that was the same. Unbudgeted, I also did have a few things. So that was 286.91. And if you want to see what I spent my money on, go ahead and watch that video. So my total variable expenses ended up being 240 plus 75.91 plus 667.72 plus 150 plus 286.91, 1,421.51. So that means that I was over budget by $931.51. Then I did end up sending $100 to PayPal, so that stayed the same, and I sent the remaining to my NC move. So let's take a look at that. So 3,066.319 minus 581.72 minus 1421.51. That's $1,600 left minus 100. That gives me $1,559.96. So I would have I did send over $1,500 in total. So that would leave me with $59.96. Let's double check the numbers just in case. 581.72 minus 1421.51 minus 100 minus 1,500. Great. So 1,500, and of course this was my first paycheck of the month, so it was like on the last business day of February, so that's why I used a portion of it to go towards my move. If not, that wouldn't have been the case. So 1,500 even is what I sent over to my savings. So that is 1802.80 minus 1,500. That is a negative of 302 that I didn't send over. So in total, my expenses ended up being 581.72 plus 1421.51 plus 100 plus 1,500. I ended up spending just a few dollars more than what I intended in total. And of course, my savings did not get as much money. So my rollover in my actual, I don't even know if you guys can see this, in my actual ended up being 59, what was it? 96. Okay, so that's pretty much it for my budget closeout. Again, if you want to see what I did in terms of my variable expenses for that first half of the month, please watch that video. And I'm gonna start trying to be more consistent here. I know I say that every single time I come back, but it's just been crazy. I underestimated the amount of time and effort that it would take for me to get set up, especially on my own. Like when I've moved in the past, I've always had help even if it's like over the weekend, friends or family would come and help me out with things. So doing it on my own after working has been a struggle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to comment any questions that you have, any feedback that you want to share, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.